The ghost of apartment 13. In the heart of a dimly lit city, shrouded in a perpetual mist, stood an old, eerie apartment building. Locals had always whispered stories of apartment 13, claiming it was cursed, that no one who had ever lived there could escape its malevolent grasp. Yet, despite the warnings, a young woman named Emily moved into the apartment with her little son Jacob. Emily was a single mother, struggling to make ends meet. The allure of cheap rent was too tempting to pass up, and she chose to ignore the superstitious tales. Little did she know that her decision would plunge them both into a nightmare they could never wake from. From the moment they moved in, strange occurrences began to unfold. Shadows danced in the corners of their vision, and unexplained sounds echoed through the walls at night. Jacob, with his innocent eyes, often spoke of seeing a pale boy standing by his bed, watching him sleep. Emily dismissed it as a child's vivid imagination, but deep inside, her maternal instincts sensed something amiss. As days turned to weeks, the haunting intensified. Objects moved on their own, doors creaked open, and a chilling breeze swept through the apartment even when all the windows were shut tight. Emily tried to keep her fears at bay, but the terror seeping from the walls was undeniable. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an eerie orange glow over the city, Emily heard Jacob talking to someone in his room. She approached quietly, heart pounding in her chest, only to find her son having a conversation with thin air. "Who are you talking to, sweetheart?" she asked, trying to hide her unease. "The boy," Jacob replied, pointing to a corner. "He's right there, Mommy. Can't you see him?" Trepidation gripped Emily's soul as she strained her eyes to see something, anything, but there was nothing there. She pulled Jacob close, trying to comfort him, and chalked it up to an overactive imagination once more. However, as the nights wore on, the spectral encounters grew more malevolent. Emily's dreams turned into nightmares of a tormented mother and her lost child. The apartment seemed to feed on her fear, amplifying the haunting. She reached out to a local historian, desperate for answers, and was told the chilling tale of apartment 13. Decades ago, a young mother and her son had lived in the same apartment. The boy was terminally ill, and his mother, desperate to save him, delved into dark rituals and necromancy. Her desperation led her to a terrible choice: to bind her son's spirit to the apartment, sacrificing him to a malevolent entity in exchange for his life. Horrified, Emily realized that Jacob's imaginary friend was the tormented spirit of the little boy, who had been trapped in apartment 13 all those years ago. But it was too late to leave. The apartment had sunk its ethereal claws deep into their souls, and escape was impossible. As the haunting escalated, so did the violence. Emily woke one night to find her son floating above his bed, eyes glowing with an off-worldly light. The little boy's voice echoed with an ominous tone that sent shivers down her spine. "Mama, we can be together forever. Just stay with us." Forever? Emily knew then that they were both trapped in a horrifying limbo, where the boundaries between life and death blurred into a nightmarish existence. Desperation consumed her, and she sought help from a paranormal investigator, hoping they could sever the ties that bound them to the malevolent spirit. But the investigator warned her that breaking such a powerful curse would come at a great cost, one that neither of them might survive. Determined to save her son, Emily accepted the risk, for she could not bear the thought of him suffering for eternity. The night of the ritual arrived, and the investigator performed the ancient incantations in apartment 13. The walls seemed to pulse with malevolence, and the air grew heavy with dread. As the ritual reached its climax, Emily and Jacob found themselves face to face with the ghostly apparitions of the tormented mother and her son. "Leave this place while you still can," the mother's spirit warned Emily. "Our fate is sealed, but there may still be hope for you and your son." Emily hesitated, torn between escaping the apartment's grasp and saving her child. But it was too late. The ritual had awoken the vengeful spirit, and it hungered for more souls to claim. In a harrowing turn of events, the investigator's life force was drained by the malevolent entity, leaving Emily and Jacob alone in the apartment's unholy grip. The walls oozed with a sinister energy, and the pale boy's laughter echoed through the halls, growing louder and more maniacal. Realizing there was no escape, Emily held her son close, whispering tearful apologies for the decision that had led them to this cursed place. As the malevolent presence closed in, mother and son were consumed by darkness, their fates entwined with the tormented souls of apartment 13 for all eternity. The city's legend grew, and brave souls would later dare to step inside the accursed apartment, but none ever emerged. their fates sealed by the sinister grip of the malevolent entity that hungered for new souls to join the ghost of little boy and his mother on apartment 13. And so, the legend of apartment 13 lives on, a chilling reminder of the dark forces that lurk in the shadows, forever sending shivers down the spines of those who dare to uncover its secrets.